Hello, my name is Puzzle Skunk, and one of my special interests is Harry Potter. Today we're going to cover one of my favorite pieces in my first video in the series where I cover pieces of my Harry Potter collection. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This isn't your typical edition of Fantastic Beasts like you would find back in the day during the height of the Harry Potter craze. This is a special edition that is more or less a copy that you would find for like a coffee table. It's very beautiful, artwork and all, and as you'll soon discover, the artwork is not only gorgeous, but you'll be able to see all the beautiful touches that were added by the artist. I bought my particular copy at a used bookstore in my area, and I implore all of you, if you want to find this copy, try your local used bookshop first, or maybe Barnes & Noble, but a used bookstore is your most likely best place to find it, because not only will you be supporting your local community, you'll also be preventing a lot of waste. And if it hadn't been for the used bookstore, I don't think I would have found this because I didn't know they made a special edition. As you can see, it's very gorgeous, and it has a beautiful, beautiful hippogriff on the cover. And for those of you die-hard Harry Potter fans, the first thing you'll most likely think of is Buckbeak. So, as you see, the cover on the front, the back, and the spine are just plain beautiful. And just like the others in the Hogwarts Library set, this one supports comic relief. And though I bought mine used, if you were to buy the other copy, the original, or this one, at your local store, it's going to support comic relief as well. I have another book in the set, The Tales of Beetle the Bard, which I will be covering in a later video. Just like in the original set, you can tell that it's got Newt Scamander's name on the front of it, like the original, but being that this is a special edition with actual beautiful artistry and more color illustrations, you'll see that there's actually a lot more presence of J.K. Rowling's name on the cover of the book, as opposed to Newt's, which, when I first picked it up, was a little disappointing, but I could see why they would do this. With the end pages, they have a beautiful map. And as you can see, there's unicorns, ships, lots of monsters that come in different areas. And the art looks as if somebody took the time to hand draw this, making it feel as if Newt himself took the time to sketch every single magical creature in this book. You'll even see a little introduction about Newt Scamander himself on the front page before you even get to the book, which is a nice thing considering this helps you immerse in the world of Harry Potter. Also, when you buy this copy, there's covers and lists of other books in the Harry Potter series, including Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, Part 1 and 2, which I don't happen to have in my collection. I don't have any of the other books in my collection, aside from Sorcerer's Stone, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay, which I don't have, but I plan to purchase at some point. They have illustrated editions of Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, and Prisoner of Azkaban, which I actually have an illustrated version of Sorcerer's Stone. However, when they're talking about this one, it's in relation to a particular version I myself don't own. I own one of the Mina Lima illustrated editions, which is far superior in my opinion. They also have the companion volumes, of which I have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and The Tales of Beetle the Bard, which is published in aid of Lumos, which I have a copy of that one, which I purchased the same day I purchased Fantastic Beasts. at the same used bookshop. Also, you'll notice that the beautiful artwork even extends to this front page. And there's even a special thank you. It says, with thanks to J.K. Rowling for creating this book and so generously giving all her royalty from it to Comic Relief and Lumos. Lumos, if you all don't know, is her special charity she created to help bring children out of the darkness and into the light, because Lumos is the spell used to create light from one's wand. As you'll see, the contents page is beautiful. You can tell that they have it listed in a beautiful order. You have a chunk about the author, which I've already shown off, the foreword, the introduction, and all the usual. But you'll see here that there's a beautiful dragon printed on the page, almost like Newt himself saw this dragon take and swallow this ship whole, and he couldn't help but draw it himself. You'll notice this type of artistry all throughout the book, and you'll often find that the beautiful artwork brings you even more into the world of Newt Scamander and Harry Potter. You'll notice that the foreword is written by Newt, so though J.K. Rowling's name is on the front cover, you'll find that you still get touches that make it feel as if you're reading Newt's book. Like, for example, at the bottom, we have his autograph or signature, which is really beautiful because you will see how much detail is put into this book. And there's even a little editor's note that I actually didn't notice the first time I read this. So, at the bottom, for the Muggle edition, for the Muggle edition, usual guff, obvious fiction, all good fun, nothing to worry about. Hope you enjoy it. We all know, as Harry Potter fans, that that's not true. There's probably some kind of something somewhere hiding someplace for us to find. All we need do is find the magic in ourselves. You'll also notice the introduction, where you'll get to see things like, I think that's a pixie, but we'll find out. And you'll also find little footnotes at the bottom from time to time. And you'll see they've got different sections. So about the book, what a beast is, a brief history of Muggle awareness of fantastic beasts, which is actually quite important. And for those of you who don't do Harry Potter or don't really understand Harry Potter, a Muggle is what's known as a human or someone that doesn't do magic. For the case of Makusa, i.e. the American equivalent of the Ministry of Magic, they call them no-mages. But I'm going with Muggle, as Muggle is the preferred term. And, as you'll see, there's also a section on magical beasts and hiding, because some magical beasts hide right under our nose. And even a section about why magizoology matters. Magizoology is the study of magical and fantastic beasts. And we also have a page denoting the magical beasts classifications as far as the ministry is concerned. The Ministry of Magic classification system. Now, this classification system is very important because it allows you, the reader, to understand within the realm of Harry Potter how dangerous something is. 1x is boring. It would be like, say, something along the lines of a house elf. They can do mischief, but they're basically harmless. Basically Dobby. 2x's is harmless, maybe domesticated. Again, I would say a house elf. I would put a house elf at 1x, but they could probably also be considered a 2x because they do have magic of their own. 3x's competent wizard should cope. So we'll find out what a 3x is pretty shortly. 4x's is dangerous. Requires specialist knowledge skilled wizards may handle. And then finally, 5x's. Known wizard killer, impossible to train or domesticate. So, example, a Chinese fireball, sometimes known as a lion dragon. Mom classification, i.e. Ministry of Magic. 5x's. So any wizard would kill you. So, the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures gives classification to all known beasts, beings, and spirits. These offer an at-glance guide to the perceived dangerousness of a creature. The 5 categories are as follows. And they show off the beautiful little Chinese fireball, the classifications, and in some cases, I have felt an explanation for the classification of a particular beast is necessary, and have added footnotes accordingly. So, you'll see here an A to Z guide of fantastic beasts. It's so beautiful. That kind of reminds me a little bit of a mosquito. Actually, some of these fantastic beasts, as you'll see, look a lot like the animals you find here in our world. Like, for example, an acromantula. For those of you who don't know, an acromantula egg is defined as a Class A non-tradable good because they are very dangerous. They're 5x. And the only known wizard to actually competently handle an acromantula is Hagrid. Other than anything that may have occurred in Fantastic Beasts. But the movies have not completely finished yet, so we don't know if an acromantula has made its way into that movie series as of yet. The most famous acromantula in the Harry Potter series is the one owned by Hagrid that's shown during the Chamber of Secrets and is mistaken to be the monster of the chamber. And it's also where you find out that Hagrid was expelled because they thought he had opened the chamber and that he was the reason the Chamber of Secrets was killing so many students. Then you have things like the Ashwinder and the Augury. I am probably saying that wrong. I apologize, Newt, and any other diehard Harry Potter fans. This actually reminds me a lot of a vulture. And you'll see my point that a lot of the animals, or fantastic beasts, look a lot like our Muggle animals. Example, the basilisk. Now, the most famous depiction of a basilisk in the Harry Potter universe is, of course, the one found in the Chamber of Secrets, under the girls' bathroom in Hogwarts. And the only way to access the Chamber of Secrets, as you all well may know, is speaking Parseltongue. The basilisk is very dangerous. It's a 5x classification, and it says on the little caption right here, a chicken egg hatched beneath a toad would produce a gigantic serpent possessed of extraordinarily dangerous powers. The basilisk is huge, very dangerous, and its venom can kill. Also, when you look a basilisk in the eye, you turn to stone. However, the basilisk can also be killed by something as strong as goblin swords, i.e., the sword of Gryffindor, which, once coated in the basilisk venom, was able to destroy all of the Horcruxes. Also, you get things like this, which is a billywig, which is a 3X. Not very dangerous. It kind of looks a lot like a mosquito, like I said. There's things like the bowtruckle, which is basically a walking little tree. They're kind of dangerous, but not really. Just a level 2X. They're mostly harmless, but they're kind of annoying. And then, of course, we have Bundymun. Those things are also really disgusting and very dangerous. I'll show you this because the art here just made me think somebody spilled something on the page. But this is one of my other gorgeous, beautiful pieces in the book. It's my favorite. It's a Centaur. And as you'll see, the mom classification is a 4X, but there's a little footnote. And I will read you the footnote. The Centaur is given a 4X classification, not because it is unduly aggressive, but because it should be treated with great respect. The same applies to merpeople and unicorns. Centaurs are beasts, but they are not to be trifled with. They are very dangerous in the world of Harry Potter, and they don't take kindly too much to humans. However, they are very intelligent and very good at predicting things. We have things like the Chimera, which, again, the artwork is just stunning. It makes you look at it and go, what am I looking at? You almost feel like the Chimera could jump off the page and burn you alive. It's that beautiful. We have things like the Chisperful, which basically looks a lot like a crab. Again, referencing and explaining the fact that a lot of these animals in Fantastic Beasts look a lot like our modern or Muggle animals. Except there are cases like this where it doesn't look like a Muggle animal. But this looks a lot like a Muggle animal that just happened to accidentally have a bit of a mutation. This thing is called a Krupp. It's a 3X classification, but it just looks like an adorable little doggy. And the information for the Krupp is as follows. The Krupp originated in the southeast of England. It closely resembles a Jack Russell Terrier, except for the forked tail. The Krupp is almost certainly a wizard-created dog, as is intensely loyal to wizards and ferocious towards muggles. It is a great scavenger, eating anything from gnomes to old tires. Note tires is spelled Tyres here, as this is a British edition, it seems. Krupp licenses may be obtained from the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures on completion of a simple test to prove the applicant wizard is capable of controlling the Krupp in Muggle-inhabited areas. Krupp owners are legally obliged to remove the Krupp's tail with a painless severing charm while the Krupp is 6 to 8 weeks old, lest Muggles notice it. So in other words, they're meant to make them look like regular Jack Russell Terriers. Which, I can understand that. And again, this beautiful artwork here. As you see, the demiguise. It's just gorgeous. The colors, the atmosphere. And of course, bird types like the Dirical and of course Doxies, which again, beautiful. For those who read the original Fantastic Beasts book, you'll remember the Doxies, because the Doxy is one of the few beautiful pieces of illustration that was in the book that I remember being pretty serviceable for that edition. We have dragons of different types, but more specifically, this is one of the big green ones, and this gets a 5X classification because, as we all well know, they're very dangerous. The most famous dragon in the Harry Potter universe? Norbert, the beautiful little baby Norwegian ridgeback that Harry took in, along with Hagrid, and tried to rescue him and get him somewhere safe. For those who don't remember, in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Hagrid took in a beautiful little baby Norwegian ridgeback and fell head over heels for it. But then again, Hagrid is prone to falling in love with most of the 5X classification beasts out there because they're dangerous, but he doesn't think that. But to be fair, he's half giant, so he could probably attempt to take on a dragon if he wanted to. Also, we have beautiful, beautiful other dragons, like this, which is called an Antipodine opali, which the first thing I thought of when I saw this dragon, it kind of made me think a little bit of Falcor from the Neverending Story. It's just plain gorgeous. We have Chinese fireballs, common Welsh green dragons, beautiful. Herberdine black, again, beautiful. This one especially, because it's so large, it makes me think it's part of the mountains. It just hides there, and it almost feels like the dragon is the mountains and the island, and that he just lies there waiting for people to come in and hurt or get hurt. The Hungarian horntail, and of course, our famous little Norbert, the sweet little but very dangerous Norwegian ridgeback. We have the Peruvian Vipertooth. Again, beautiful artwork, so gorgeous. You can just tell that love and affection were put into every beautiful piece of artwork in this book. And of course, this dragon is so big, you had to put it on a whole separate page. It's so big, it actually ate a ship. And look, as you see, this particular dragon is massive. It's so big, I can't even fit it in the frame. I'm going to do my best. This one is called the Ukrainian Iron Belly, and it's just plain beautiful. If you have a chance to buy this book, I suggest it, because you'll find that the artwork is gorgeous, and you'll always find something new to discover when looking at it. Like the Dugbog, the Urkling, which kind of reminds me a little bit of a little kid, or one of those kids that you see in the Feed the Children or Support Africa videos that always tries to make you donate and make you cry. The Erumpent, which their horns are very dangerous and they explode. Actually, a famous instance of an Erumpent in the Harry Potter universe is one held by Luna Lovegood's father, who mistaken it for a crumple-horned snorkack, which we still have no idea whether they exist within the realm of Harry Potter. There are fairies, which are very beautiful, fire crabs, which look nothing like crabs and actually look a lot more like turtles, beautiful flobber worms, which again, they just look like regular worms that you'd find in the Muggle universe. And beautiful whoppers or whoopers. They just look so beautiful. And again, more beautiful artwork, like the ghoul, which is just plain gorgeous. Another famous example, the burrow. There's actually a ghoul in the attic above Ron's room, and occasionally the ghoul will cause trouble. But not to be mean, of course. It's just what ghouls do. Then there's Glumbumbles, which, again, just so beautiful. Strange, but beautiful. And then Graphorns, which, to be honest, this Graphorn here, it makes me think of a dinosaur. Almost like a Triceratops, just kind of mutated. Of course, the beautiful griffin that's on the cover, like on the cover of the book. And of course, we all know the most famous, the most beautiful beasts. We have Grindylows, which are very dangerous if you don't pay any attention. Hide-behinds, which are also beautiful, beautiful creatures. Hippocampuses? No, not the part of your brain. It almost looks a lot like a cross between a Muggle seahorse, or more or less an actual Muggle seahorse with just horse legs on top. And then the beautiful, beautiful Hippogriff, which, for all of you diehard Harry Potter fans out there, you'll know the most famous Hippogriff is Buckbeak. And, as you'll also know, if you want to properly introduce yourself to a Hippogriff, you bow, allow him to bow back, and then you can approach. But do so carefully, because Hippogriffs are the mom classification 3. They can be dangerous if mishandled. We have Hodags, which again, look at the beautiful artwork here. I just cannot believe how gorgeous it is. Horky Lumps, feel free to laugh because most of these beast names are really hilarious. And look at it, it just looks like a beautiful mushroom that you don't touch because it'll either kill you or give you a psychedelic trip so hard that you wake up and it's 2027. We have beautiful horned serpents, which again, this is just gorgeous. It almost feels like old cave paintings from many millennia ago. And you just, imps? And no, I'm sorry to say, these imps do not murder. These are not the immediate murder professionals. I'm sorry. They're only a classification 2. They're fun though. We have Jarvies and Jobberknolls, which, to be honest, Jobberknolls look a lot like bluebirds. They're just plain beautiful. And of course, the Jarvies look a lot like beautiful little weasels. They're just so cute. I can't help it. They're classification 3, and a Jobberknoll is a classification 2. We have things like a Kappa. Now, I'm going to stop you right here. The Kappas in this book don't look like actual Kappas, personally. They don't look very turtle-y. They look a lot more like monkeys. But that's just my personal opinion. They look a lot more like monkeys and it's a little unsettling. This is a Kelpie, which is a seahorse that will drag you down to the bottom of the depths of the ocean, and then you die. And as such, they're a classification 4. I wouldn't mess with them if I were you. We have Gnarls, which basically look like little bitty porcupines. A Thneasel, which, for all of you who don't know, a Thneasel is classification 3, and it says here the Thneasel was originally bred in Britain, though it is now exported worldwide. A small cat-like creature with flecked, speckled, or spotted fur, outsized ears, and a tail like a lion's, the Thneasel is intelligent, independent, and occasionally aggressive. That just sounds like my cat, Captain Fuzzy Nuts. I bet he's a Thneasel. And, for those who don't know, Crookshanks is part Thneasel. And, of course, we have leprechauns and their notorious fake gold. We have lethifolds, which, again, just look at this. The art in here, the book, it's just, wow. We have Labalog, which, again, just look at this. It's just so strange. And, of course, the Mackled Malaclaw, which, again, it just looks like a beautiful lobster. And, of course, a Manticore, which is very dangerous. And for good reason. It's classification 5. It will kill you upon even thinking about it. It's that gorgeous. You'll find beautiful, beautiful things like mer people in this book. Moats, mooncalves, Niffler, which is one of my favorite animals in the Harry Potter universe because they're beautiful. And then, of course, my most favorite one in this book. Look at it. It just looks like a big, giant leopard cheetah thing out of the Serengeti. It's about to jump out, turn around, and kick my behind. And then, of course, we have this beautiful bird. And, look, it's a phoenix. Not the city of Arizona, people, but a phoenix. The beautiful, beautiful phoenix. You just look at it and can feel the warmth radiating off of it in the page. You can just feel the beauty and you just look at it and it's just beautiful. All I can think of when I see it is fox. But let's be honest here, we all know that's the first thing anybody thinks of when they think of a phoenix. And of course, we see something that looks a lot like a pufferfish. Because again, a lot of these animals look a lot like things in the human world. A puffskein, which is really strange, but okay. Quintate. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. Again, it's beautiful. The art just looks like beautiful sketches. You have the Remora, Redcaps. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that guy. It almost looks like a Cebu. Runespore. Again, it just looks like a very beautiful snake. Salamanders, which actually, unlike other things in the Harry Potter universe, we actually have salamanders in our universe. They're a classification 3. Now let's see what it says about the salamander. Salamander is a small fire-dwelling lizard that feeds on flame. Brilliant white, it appears blue or scarlet depending upon the heat of the fire in which it makes its appearance. Salamanders can survive up to 6 hours outside a fire if regularly fed pepper. They will live only as long as the fire from which they sprang burns. Salamander blood has powerful creative and restorative properties. There's sea serpents. Look at it. It's bigger than even a whale. It's bigger than even a whale, people. And as you see, you just look at all of this artwork and you're just transported. Now tell me that don't look like a dinosaur. Tell me that don't look like something like an Archaeopteryx. That's just something out of Jurassic Park. Oh, look at it. It looks like a little kiwi. Doesn't that look like a little kiwi? For all my Australian viewers, if anybody knows if that looks like a kiwi, let me know in the comments. I think it looks like a kiwi. We have a beautiful Sphinx. It's just plain gorgeous. And of course we have this seemingly dangerous thing, but it's only a classification 3X. But look at it. The art just makes you feel like it's dangerous. We have a Tebow. And thankfully this one is not kneeling at the end of the field. Thunderbirds. Now just look at that thing. It just looks intimidating. It's just plain gorgeous. Ooh, and trolls. Although I prefer my trolls singing pop songs, having fluffy hair, and dancing around like crazy idiots. And then, of course, look at this. Oh, look at this unicorn. It's just plain gorgeous. Just plain perfect. I love it. Oh, so beautiful. And look at this beautiful cat. Yes, it's so beautiful. So perfect. Or should I say, perfect. Werewolf, which of course we all know the most famous and most handsome werewolf of all, Remus Lupin. And of course the most dastardly despised one of all, Fenrir Greyback. But we won't go into that today. Winged horses, which are beautiful. The beautiful Yeti imagery. Just look at it. You can't even see where the Yeti is, can you? If you found the Yeti, let me know in the comments below. And then we even have a list of beasts, so you know what page to look for. And then you have a beautiful little section talking about the original authors and the illustrator, and a section about comic relief and Lumos, which this book was written in partnership with. And as you'll find, when you buy this particular copy, you'll actually find that it's beautiful, easy to read, and a lot easier to hold in your hands than the smaller one, because you can sit in a chair like this and just flip through the book for hours, reading things about the hide behind and all the other wonderful beasts that I've shown you today. Also, there's even a section showing off what the illustrators like to think, as well as explaining some of the other beautiful things, like the A to Z of the beasts. This book is just magical. And of course, just like the front end cap, you have the beautiful little map. This book also came with its own built-in bookmark, which is quite useful when doing late-night Harry Potter research. And then, of course, you have some of the beasts named on the back. And on the back you have, explore the wild wonders of the wizarding world in this sumptuous compendium to the magical beasts compiled by famed magizoologist Newt Scamander. And as you see, the original price for this book is $34.99 US. I paid $20-something for it at my used bookshop. I'd like to give a special thank you and shout out to Peter Kenneth, aka the Potter Collector, for making this video possible, because he showed me, first of all, that you can collect Harry Potter as an adult and show it off as an adult and not have to be self-conscious about it. He also rekindled my love of Harry Potter, because Harry Potter has always been one of my favorites. However, he actually rekindled my fiery passion for Harry Potter. And I'd also like to thank the Super Carlin brothers, because their Harry Potter theories and videos helped give me ideas for my future videos, including talking about my opinions on their theories, talking about other theories I have about Harry Potter, and talking about things regarding Harry Potter that they may have missed. So, all in all, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And remember, God loves you very much.